world. It is the last day, day 5 of this round of Foundation Fest, and today we are going to take a look at the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation in the brand new lightest shade 00 Light Natural. Hey everybody, Shelly here, and today I've got the last day of this round of Foundation Fest, and we're checking out the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation, and this is in their brand new lightest shade, number 00, Light Natural. Hey! So, the Milani Foundation, this is the first one I have ever tried. It comes in a very nice glass bottle. I think this is a very attractive sort of packaging. You get 1 fluid ounce of product. It retails anywhere from $8 to $10 depending where you are picking it up. Let's check out their website for a little 411. And this is described as a full coverage water resistant foundation. It combats under eye circles, redness, and other skin imperfections. No mess, no drip pump. Skin looks naturally perfect. So that is on the Milani website. And let's see, I counted the shades earlier. Now I forget what they are. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 different shades in this range, which I would normally commend a drugstore foundation line for having 15 plus shades. But I do have to say, from the images on the website at least, it does look like the shades are very skewed to the pale end of the spectrum. So there's a lot of light to medium skin tones and really only one that I would say is a significantly dark complected color. So if you do have a darker complexion, you may have a hard time finding a shade in the Milani line that works for you. But this being their new lightest shade, I am very excited to check this out. It is one of those things that I've seen lots of reviews in the past, and one of the concerns people have had is that they say that it does oxidize over time. So even the former lightest shade by the end of the day was way too dark. Now, of course, I'm wearing the foundation now. What we're getting into in the video is the application process, but of course that has already happened. It's already on my face, and I'm sure you can tell that it is a bit too dark for me. And being the lightest shade, that's a little bit of a bummer. This is one of those things that for something that has so many different shades at the light end of the spectrum, it's, can you just get something for us pale people out there? And I'm not even the palest of the pale. I'm usually in higher end brands that have a more extensive shade range in the minutia of shades at the ends of the spectrums. I'm usually the second or third lightest shade, so I'm not typically the lightest. Now in drugstore, I am almost always the lightest shade, and the lightest shade is usually still not light enough for me. So that's kind of where we're starting from. Of course, I am coming at you with 42-year-old dry skin with some fine lines and wrinkles and some dark spots that I need to cover up from sun damage that I did not wear sunscreen for in the early days. Wear sunscreen every day. You will regret it if you don't. I promise you, it is one of the best anti-aging products you can do and things you can do for your skin just every day, every day. Even if it's as gloomy as it is outside today in the Shenandoah Valley, wear your sunscreen. The sun is out there even through the clouds. Anyway, there's my PSA. I can't help myself, you guys. So if you would like to see how this Milani foundation looks and compares to some other products, hang out here, keep on watching. I've got some swatches for you. I'll do a full application and wear test and a daylight check-in later on, and we'll come back at the end of the night and see where we're at. Swatch time. So first up we have today's contender, the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 in their brand new lightest shade 00 Light Natural. Definitely not very light. Next is the LA Girl Pro Coverage Concealer in Porcelain. Third up is a very good match for my skin tone. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish in shade 091 Light Ivory. Then we've got the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in their lightest shade 101 Classic Ivory. And last up is the new Wet n Wild Photo Focus in shade Rose Ivory. Okay, let's see what Milani can do here. Now, I have already cleansed and moisturized, put on my sunscreen. I am priming with the Urban Decay Urban Defense. This has SPF 30. So far, I am really liking this stuff. It is an excellent primer. It has not broken me out. It has not given any skin irritation. Thumbs up to the Urban Defense. I'm going to use a brush on one side of my face. Now, this is one of the many dupes for Oval Artiste brushes on Amazon, and here's a little spoiler alert, sneak peek. Look what just came in the mail. It's an Artiste brush. Yes, I ordered one. I finally caved. So, you know what's coming next is, of course, going to be a battle of the brushes. But hold your horses. We have other things to do in the meantime. So, I'm going to be using this dupe. I've used it a few times. I like it so far. And on the other side of my face, I will use my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, which now has several teeth marks in it. I have no sponges that have not been attacked by the cats, particularly Daffy. So, let's get on with this. Now, we are looking for full coverage. I'm normally expecting to use about 2 pumps of a, bottle pump foundation when I want medium to full coverage. So, let's give this a go. I think that first pump was probably not a complete pump, but that's okay. We will survive. I don't know why I just went in with my fingers, because the whole point of having a palette is that then you don't have to, but I forgot that I could just dip my brush or my sponge into my palette, and yeah, so fingers it is. I feel like this, even though it might not have been 2 complete pumps, I feel like I got a ton of product. So I feel like I might even have too much product on my face. We will see. I'm initially having a concern. This looks really yellowy. Dun dun dun. All right, let's do the brush. We'll use that on this side of my face. The application looks really smooth. This really looks nice on my pores, my larger pores on my cheeks. The downside of a brush like this, and this is more a critique of the brush than anything, is that you can't really get around your eye sockets and things because it's so huge. But not thinking about that, in terms of just the foundation looks really smooth. It also looks really yellow, but very smooth. It feels a little bit heavy. It's still tacky. It seems to dry down pretty quickly though, which makes me a little bit nervous about this side. Thankfully, we're doing the Beauty Blender, which is damp on this side, and that may help blend it out a little bit if it starts to get too tacky. But first impression, holy smooth finish. It really looks very nice on my nose, on my cheeks. Very nice. Let's try the sponge side. I would say both sides look almost the same. The side of my face that I use the brush looks a lot smoother over my pores, and for that reason I think I will do one more layer with the brush. I can just see a little bit more texture and pores around the Beauty Blender side, but I would say it's still totally fine. I think I got slightly better coverage on the side with the brush. I think the Beauty Blender may have sort of thinned it out just a little bit, but I would say we're at, in one coat, a solid light medium coverage. I can still see the worst of my sunspots, and I can still see some of the less worse ones popping through, but it's not sheer. There is some coverage happening. The redness around my nostrils is significantly decreased. It's not completely gone, but I think with another layer we should be in pretty good shape. So I think you could totally go out with this level of coverage if you just need a little bit of coverage. So I'm going to go in with one more pump, because I don't think I need a full 2. Yes, this definitely gets to full coverage, and it doesn't feel as heavy as something like Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. It feels a little bit lighter. Don't get me wrong, it still feels heavy. I feel like I'm wearing makeup. It's probably, I get the sensation that it's going to feel heavier as the day goes on, but we will see about that. As a foundation that claims to also be a 2-in-1 concealer, I was able to spot conceal my darkest spots, and you can barely see them. You have to know they're there to even notice them. And for that reason, I would say, yeah, if you are someone that doesn't typically use a brightening concealer, then you could pull this off as one product to conceal and put down your foundation base. Now, I prefer to do a concealer under my eyes that is a little bit more brightening, so I've, as you can see, left that area pretty much blank so I can go in with a more brightening concealer. But I would say this did spot conceal very nicely on my dark spots. So I think the texture is a tiny bit heavy. It's still a little bit tacky. We'll see how it dries down. I'm probably going to set this with a powder, and let me go put the rest of my face on and we'll see where we're at. Back in a flash, just like that. So yes, I have bangs now, so this has been quite the foundation fest with changing my hair color in the middle of it. Then I chopped part of my hair off. You know, I'm sure you could tell from the previous couple of videos, my hair was driving me nuts. So here we go, something a little different. On my face, I am wearing, let's see, I've got the L'Oreal GlamBronze, of course. I'm sorry, it's limited edition from the summer, but I love this stuff. I've got the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. This is like a pale girl's best friend. Of course, my Physicians Formula, Natural Nudes, Shimmer Brick. My eyes are the Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette. Mascara is the CoverGirl Supersizer, which I was convinced to try out by Emily Noel's channel, and I like it. It's alright. It's not gonna be like my top 5, I don't think, but it's okay. On the lips, I've got the new Revlon HD lip colors. This is in number 700 HD Sand. I really like these. I picked up 4 or 5 of these shades now because they wear really nicely, they're comfortable, they're moisturizing, they're very low maintenance. Like, you can just put them on, and even if you have to eat, they will degrade nicely. You don't have to worry about touching them up. If you don't have time to touch them up, they won't look awful. But if you want to touch them up, you can touch them up throughout the day and they look good as new. I really, really like these. So on to the foundation. I think it did get a little bit darker over the 45 minutes or so I've been playing around with makeup. Check-in time is approximately 12:30. We are just past 1 o'clock. It is definitely too dark. You can see the demarcation on my neck to where the foundation ends and where my neck begins. It's a little bit heavy. It feels a little bit drying. I'm feeling like I want to itch my face. There is a dry patch in the center of my eyebrows that is slightly visible, enhanced, accentuated by this foundation. So right off the bat, this is not something I can wear on its own. I'm going to have to use a foundation mixer to lighten this up if I want to wear it. And this being the lightest, brand new lightest shade, that's a little bit disappointing. I was hoping for something that was a little bit closer to my skin tone. It's definitely a warm-toned light foundation. If you are any paler than me, I'm not even sure you could get this light enough for you without going half and half with a mixer. But so far, I love the finish of it. It really is helping to de-accentuate, is that a word? De-accentuate? Make my pores look less obvious. My concealer did not want to play very nice with it. I used the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and it ended up blending out fine, but I feel like cream or liquid products wanted to stick right where they were set. They didn't want to blend out. This is sort of a tacky-ish foundation. It's still a tiny bit tacky. I did set it with the L'Oreal Double Take Baked powder. So the concealer did take a little bit of effort to blend out. It eventually did. Powder products blended out just fine. So I think it's just the tackiness, and putting other cream type products on top might be a little bit difficult. You'll have to work at it just a little bit, but overall, I'd say we look okay. My nose looks friggin' spectacular. For this being my nose, I can't see any pores on it, so it's definitely doing a very nice job at blurring pores. It's not settling into my smile lines really, or my forehead lines, so that's a good thing. If you've got some fine lines and texture, you may be okay with this. We'll see how that continues, if it stays put, and we will check back in a little bit with a natural light check-in. Gonna do the natural light check-in in the car because it's raining and foggy and gloomy. I mean, blah. I'm at the grocery store getting some food for the week, and so far the only thing that's really bothering me about this foundation is the shade. It really looks dark on me, and every time I look in a mirror I think, yeah, it's too dark. But such is the way it goes. I think otherwise it looks really nice. I really like how it smooths out pores. That's my #1 impress point with this so far. I haven't taken a super close look to see if it is settling into lines or anything like that, but from a distance, from a conversational distance so far, I think it looks really nice if it weren't for the color. So that's where we're at. What time is it? It is about 4:40, so we are about 4 hours in on wear time right now. I will check back at the end of the night with some final thoughts. We are back. The time is 10:28, so we are officially at about the 12-hour mark. No, I'm lying. The 10-hour mark. Math is tough. Since I put on this foundation at 12:30 this afternoon, and I have to say, for what it is, a drugstore foundation that claims to offer full coverage, I think it does do what it claims. It is looking really good from a conversational distance still, and up close it's just now starting to break down around my chin. It's a little bit breaking down in the center of my forehead, but other than that, it is really just barely starting to wear off around the end of my nose. I mean, barely. And at the 10-hour mark, I think that's really good. It did not settle additionally into any of my lines. I'm not getting polka dot pores, but I almost feel like someone has come through with a needle and like poked holes in my face. Like there's little kind of holes where my pores are, holes in the foundation sort of. It's the only way I can think of to describe it. But overall, it really looks nice for the kind of wear that it's had all day today. So let me zoom you guys in and give you a look. A little cakey around the nostrils. Under eyes are still looking pretty good. Crow's feet area is looking a little bit dry, but not really too bad. Nothing's really standing out. And it's breaking down just the tiniest bit in between my eyebrows. Just a little bit. So as far as wear goes, I'm impressed. It has worn very well. On the so-so side of the fence, I would say it feels pretty heavy. I definitely feel like I'm wearing makeup. I've definitely felt like that all day. In terms of drying, for a matte foundation, it's not too bad. I feel a teeny tiny bit. I'm just starting to get a little bit itchy right now, and that's good. I mean, very few foundations don't itch a little bit by the end of the night. Now, if it's significant, then I know it's way too drying for my skin, but I'm not seeing evidence of extreme dryness, so I don't think that this is a very drying foundation. I think you can get away with it if you moisturize underneath, if you've got dry skin. I think definitely if you've got normal to combo, possibly even oily skin, you can get away with this, because I'm not seeing any shine on my face whatsoever. So nothing is coming through, and I don't produce a lot of oil, but some foundations do look more dewy on me at the end of the day than they do in the beginning, and this is not the case here. I think this looks as matte as it did when I first put it on, so I think it's probably good for all skin types. On the super downside for me is the shade range. If you have dark complexion, you're gonna have a hard time finding a shade. This being a brand new lighter shade, I really can't believe that this is the lightest shade, and it makes me so glad that I didn't try to buy the former lightest shade, because this is definitely too dark for me. I cannot wear this unless I mix it with something. There's a very clear line of demarcation of where my foundation ends and where my neck begins. I don't even know if I could wear this in the summer. That's how many levels too dark I think it is for me. It looks nice, but this being the lightest shade of, what was it, 15 shades, this is not light enough at all. And many of the shades look to have a warm undertone rather than a cool undertone. This definitely has a warm undertone. One of the complaints I've heard is that it turns orangey, or it looks orangey. It's definitely one of those kind of peach looking foundations, which is a little bit odd because I don't know how many people that really matches, especially on the very fair end of the spectrum. So shade-wise, I think they have some work to do. I definitely can't wear this unless I mix it with something lighter, a foundation mixer. But other than that, I would say it has worn really nicely. If you don't mind the feeling of wearing makeup, it's fine. It's not lightweight. You get really good coverage. I still can't see my sunspots really poking through, and that's pretty darn good coverage, especially after 10 hours. So for coverage, it's really good. For wear, I think it's really good. Shade range needs a bit of help. The fine lines, settling into lines, it really doesn't. It does a pretty good job of smoothing out pores and texture, I think. And so for that, I'm going to give this a grade of a C+. I would say it's a solid, average wear foundation. It doesn't wow me. The shades, I think, are a bit off, and it's really not knocking it out of the park in any real way, but it's a pretty good wear. I'm going to give it a C+. It's a little above average. So there you have it. My take on the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect. Am I blocking the whole name here? The shade 00 Light Natural, the brand new lightest shade in this line. I hope you have found this helpful. If so, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps me understand what I should keep on doing on my channel. Please feel free to leave comments on any foundations you guys would like to see in the future. I've got some plans to do. I'm thinking of a new series, like a Friday foundation fix, so that I don't have to wait in between foundation fests in order to do a foundation review, because it really is one of my favorite things to do. And as I wrap up this foundation fest, I literally have 3 or 4 more new foundations to test that I'm not able to do in this 5-day foundation fest, because there are more new foundations than there are 5 days. So I'm probably going to start a series, probably not every Friday, but a couple Fridays a month, where I do a foundation fix, so you can get your fix in between foundation fests. Lots of F's going on here. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Any questions, comments, suggestions for foundations I should check out, please let me know. I will try and get my hands on them and fulfill those requests. Thanks a lot for stopping by and geeking out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time. Have yourselves a wonderful day or night, and take care of each other. Bye-bye.